Okay. So we are, yeah, we are on. Okay. So thank you for coming this morning. Today we have with us Miriam. Miriam is a good friend of us, of Bolt, we could say. I think we met Miriam first time, it was about 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
No, 3.
3 years ago, yeah. You were an entrepreneur, so you had a company called Crowd Educa, I remember. So you know how to be, you know how to be an entrepreneur, and things were not the things that you were expecting also. So you were suffering everything from the startup point of view, and then later on also you were joining one of the startups that it was there with Jose Carlos. That's right?
Yeah. That's right.
And Miriam doesn't come from the technology world, so you come from the psychology, right? So you've been dealing with some of the things we're going to be talking today. One is NLP, right? Neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah.
We will talk just briefly about wingwave also. That is a technique you have, but okay, it's there, it's hidden somehow. And she's been helping entrepreneurs in almost everything, from the elevator pitch about communication, what to say, how not to say, body language, gestures, everything possible. So today we have 2 different talks. I'm going to be trying to bring some of the good news from Silicon Valley, what they say you're going to be suffering from the psychological point of view when dealing with a startup. And then Miriam is going to be talking a little bit about what she does, how she does, a little bit, right? Yeah. If you think it's a good idea. All the time, I want you to give me your feedback, because, okay, some of these things we're going to be discussing may not apply to you, or maybe you have a completely different thinking about what is being said. So I like to have a dialogue with you, okay?
Okay.
I can tell you that most of the things that I'm going to be saying here also applies to me as an entrepreneur. So I've been trying to convince people about what to do and what not to do and everything. So feeling loneliness, depressions, and all the things, I mean, they pass through my mind also during all these 5 years. So it applies definitely to me. You have the Twitter and everything if you want to tweet whatever we are doing today. So if you want, we can start.
Yeah.
I can start.
Yeah, you
And
start.
and if you don't want to be in the background, it's okay. I mean, if you don't want to be, it's all right also. Okay, first thing is about success. I mean, I think we've been talking in the past. Okay, you want to move out. Think about success, and this is a very interesting topic, because okay, most of the people they start with a startup because of a success, some sort of success, and I want you to think, what is success for you? And I think it was a couple of days ago I read something that is very interesting about if you have the possibility from choosing between success or something that is meaningful, what would you do as an entrepreneur? And this is something that resonates with me. So I will choose for significance, okay, not success. So if you're looking for financial or any other type of success, I think in the long term, that will not help your psychology at all. So if you look for something that is more meaningful for society or a group of people, that I think that will be much better in there. And that is my own feeling. Okay. So if you continue pursuing some financial rewards, you will not feel complete at the end. Maybe you will disagree or something like that. No, you don't disagree? Do you think it's a good idea? Yeah. Why? Okay. Move on. I mean, not everybody thinks the same. Okay. So what are the common reasons some people decide to set up a startup or to become entrepreneurs? and I'm bringing a few of them. Maybe we can discuss if this makes sense or not. I mean, some of the people, they think it's glamorous because of the movies they've been seeing about, Facebook, the social network and everything. Some people think you will be the boss, and we will talk about it. Flexibility, I'm going to be flexible. I want to have my own agenda and do whatever I want, serve whenever I want. Some people will say I'll make more money or will have more impact in life or anything. And I will talk a little bit about the best reason, or what I think it is the best reason also for studying. So, glamorous. How many of you think that becoming an entrepreneur is a glamorous thing to do? No. Okay. So you think it's glamorous. Yeah, everybody sees, business, okay, did it. That is a photograph of the social network. What it shows that these guys are having a super fun party and everything, champagne and everything. And the guy that took these pictures, he was one of the co-founders of Facebook. So he actually brought some of the real pictures of what really happened during the time. And you could see there the founder of Facebook saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to be disturbed. So putting a finger and say, I'm coding, so don't disturb me at all. So no parties from that sense. That is another picture of one of the movies about the guy solving an equation and everything. But it's not like that. Most of the time is the other way around. Okay, the ugly side of being a founder. There is a lot of things that is being said and written about, the bad side of an entrepreneur. So this is a real story from The Economist also. There was a guy that was living about a year in the room that he was using as the office, and he was sleeping under the table and having depression and everything. So yes, there is a lot of stress, and I think Miriam is going to be talking about the stress also in a little bit on the talk.
Yeah, be brief.
So stress about the responsibility you have for you and for your team. I mean, if you're into the team, you need to say also and that you're going to be putting the best years of your life doing this thing. So that is a lot of responsibility. You're always on call. That means that someone is going to be calling you in the middle of the night. It could be an investor, it could be a customer, or some of the team. So you're always 24 hours, and you're fundraising most of the time. So you need to persuade people also. So there's a lot of stress because you're asking people to invest into your own startup, and that is a lot of problems because you're overselling. Okay. And sometimes you get an unwanted media attention. So people are talking about you, especially the ones around, some haters and everything. So this is actually things that happen. There is another one in Inc. About the psychological price of being an entrepreneur. I don't want you to get depressed, but it is something like that. And this is another interesting topic from Brad Feld, the founder of Techstars, who said the stress you're going to be suffering over the next years. You'll be the boss, and I think we touched a little bit about this. If you want to be the boss, I mean, you better go into another kind of sector, like you could go and join the military or something like that, because when you have investors, customers and everything, you are not the boss anymore. Flexibility, I'm sorry, but no flexibility. You're always on call. You're a role model, so if you are not doing whatever you're doing, all people in the team, they are going to be feeling the same, and they will slow down also. So you're a role model and you're always working. And about making money, I don't agree that this could be that should be the main reason and have more impact. There are a few examples about doing it. I mean, I think it's very Silicon Valley on that sense. But I read the other day that, I think it was yesterday, that Google pays the average salary that they pay for people in Spain is about 160,000 euros a year, which is a lot of money. So if you want to make money, go to Google. Don't go here, or don't try to do it here, because it will take you a lot of time. And those are a little bit of examples about working for big companies like Google or Facebook, how much money they can make, or being a founder of a successful company. If you're thinking about having an impact, you may think that sometimes when you're working for a big enterprise, you will not make any impact at all because you're working for someone. And those are like side examples of people that were working for big corporations that they were doing a big impact into the market. So first one was someone that was working on the chat in Gmail in the beginning. So that was the beginning of the chat of email, that it was really intense for most of the people. The other one, it was a side project also of someone that he was working on Google Maps. So he started developing the Google Maps inside Google, and it wasn't meant to be, but he started. And also the third one, it was a hackathon dealt by someone who started to and did some sort of brainstorming, and he invented the like button for Facebook. And you think, okay, that was a big impact into the market. So Google Maps, chats, or likes, I mean, they were invented within a corporation. So
then those entrepreneurs don't get the money for making those things.
They got some sort of a money, and if you review how much money they make, you could take a look. People working, for example, in Dropbox, if you were one of the first 100 employees, you will have around 10 million in stock options and everything in the bank. So that is a lot of money, I mean, for them. Or Facebook, if you are one of the first employees of Facebook. So it's not a bad idea to jump on a startup that is being already successful. So if you decided to go, for example, for Uber, maybe it's too late right now because they have too many employees. But if you were one of the first ones that started, you could make a lot of money. Whereas if you're moving into a startup, you will get at the end a maximum of 10% of the shares. And if it's a big company, you will make a lot of money, but that will take time. So the impact, maybe you could do a lot of impact or much more impact working for a big enterprise. So making money, not. Making impact in the world, no. Being flexible, no. So what is the best reason for starting a company? Passion?
Yes. Yeah.
Passion.
Inspiration.
I think,
Something is inside.
okay. That's
They
good.
have to come up,
Okay.
blow up.
I think you're on the right side, but okay, passion. I mean, okay, there is a psychological impact on this. Okay, and what I want to say is that you can't stop from doing it. So you have something in your mind saying, okay, I need to do it, I need to do it, I need to do it, I need to do it. When something is running in your mind like that, so that is a positive sign, and maybe you should be like an entrepreneur. So don't do it because
for example, everybody is different, and there are different kinds of personalities.
Yeah.
And there are people that is a real entrepreneur, and there are people that love to have habits every day, and your amount of money the same one at the end of the month. Month that I need to get up at 7 o'clock every day, but our brain is completely different. And
I know. I mean, there are completely different kind of people, and I completely agree with you.
Certainty and risk, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, it is?
Certainty and risk, of course, what do you want?
Certainty and risks, yeah. But sometimes it's like you can't stop from doing it. It's like, come on, I need to go. I need to try. I need to at least try. I mean, they say it is the best reason when there is something, there is an urge inside of you, like, yeah, go and make it. I always put the same example about Airbnb. Maybe you know the story. Airbnb came out of one of the accelerators, Y Combinator, and the guys that started Airbnb were discouraged all the time by the investors and by the mentors and everything to pivot, to do the thing. But the founder was completely convinced that he needed to do that. I mean, he had like a spare room in his house. He couldn't pay the rent. So there was a possibility of renting that space for someone. So he was discouraged all the time. But he couldn't stop from doing it. So he was like 3 years on and on. So it's a little bit like being very persuasive. So that's the reason. You need to do it. Passion. Yeah, you talk about it. Yeah, you need to have passion. If you don't have passion, I mean, it's probably worthless also. But you have to have some kind of aptitude about doing it, because sometimes it's not up to you. I want to create a new social network, but I'm sorry, I don't code. I have no idea. So if I don't have the aptitudes, maybe I shouldn't be pursuing this. Okay.
I always say that your startup or your business is like your son or your daughter.
Or your baby, yeah.
It's a project that is inside of you, and it's growing up, and you are feeding and feed it, and then grows up.
Yeah, but that is the good thing and the bad thing.
Yeah,
why? Because most of the startup fails also. It's like in 90% of the time, the startups is going to be failing in the next 2 years. So you're going to be feeling really bad when your baby is not growing, or is not, or you need to be killing your baby at the end because, I think I was talking to Rachel on Monday that I was listening to a podcast about different companies that they are looking for teams within the companies that they look for the failure. I mean, going for completely crazy projects, and they are paid a bonus when they kill the projects also. So failure is an option, and it should be an option. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling like this is really bad. So I don't know how many of you have tried to do something, a project or a startup, and it didn't work, and then you kill your friends and you don't want to be talking to them, and you destroy completely.
Empty.
And you feel empty.
And then something is going wrong inside of you.
Yeah.
Or you did something wrong, or you have to put yourself too much, or...
That's right. I mean, and you start to ruminate about, doing the things I did. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I did it wrong. So self-pity also, you feel really bad about what you did and everything. So the most important thing for the founders, I think, is manage your own psychology. And this is a real advice. I mean, this is going to be with you all the time.
And emotions are always with you. Always.
And they're going to be pursuing you also. And if you're going to be negative, it's going to be bad to you. So again, managing your own psychology is probably one of the key things. Maybe you agree or not. And some people think, okay, this is going to be better with the time. So the beginnings is a little bit bad, but you think things will get better. And every time I talk to founders, they think most of the things they are going to be improving, but it's actually thank you.
No, I'm talking, so it's like, hi, I'm here.
You're here.
It was just a voice talking.
Yeah. No, I think you're going to be there. No, I think you're in.
Yeah.
You are. Okay, so it's perfect.
I'm in the frame.
You're in the frame.
I was. Right now I'm reframed again.
So, I think it keeps worse and worse. Most of the people think, okay, this is going to be better. So when we get the money or we get the team, we start to get new customers, it's going to be easier, and it's the other way around. So it keeps intensifying. So you better be prepared for the storm, because there's going to be a storm later on. So managing your own psychology, I think, is very key. Ignore the haters. So there are going to be a lot of people trying to put you in a really bad situation. So forget about them. So most of them,
people that is going to love you as well.
Some of them, they're going to be loving you. Some of them, they're going to be looking at you like maybe they feel they would like to do what you're doing, but they are hating you somehow.
Yeah.
So they have some
I think
sort of
there's a lot of
envy.
fear as well, and
Of course, I mean,
that they're gonna take my idea or.
I think something you have to have in mind is to have a long-term strategy. It's like, okay, if you're starting to get everything into the boats because you think you will get a journey to discover America and get the gold there, think about America and the gold. Don't think about the short-term things. So, and you have to have a long-term commitment also. Think about 3-4 years minimum to do it. I talked to most of the entrepreneurs about having these clauses into the shareholder agreements or pacto de socios, whatever you said. I think it is important to think that everybody is in the same boat for the long term, not for the short term, because people will be jumping off the boat. Okay, monitor burnout. This is very interesting. Yeah, normally when you say, okay, I'm going to be starting a company, you will have no holidays and no vacations, and you're working on time all the time. You're dreaming, and this is obsessions and everything. Yeah. So you need to have a way of checking yourself that you are not burning yourself. I mean, you're not dying into this. Maybe it sounds silly for you, but it is not. I mean, and that reminds me a story that happened to me. Is a friend of Niklas, which is a guy that came here, started a few companies before. He worked for a company and he liked to go and climb the big mountains like the Everest or the K2. So he was doing a speech in front of a whole bar. I think there were 60 people, and showing like pictures about how he was, and he was waiting like 2 months to try to go to the peak and climb the peak. And what happened is that when he was like 100 meters or 50 meters to go to the peak, he doesn't remember anything what happened. I mean, and they had like a special code, so people that they are into the base camps that they are lower from him, every day they communicate with them in the radio. And when they feel that this person is not saying things clearly, maybe he has a problem in the head or in the lungs, or so that happened actually to them. So what it happened is that they called him up and he didn't respond. So they started to put him into a recovery mode. So their friends started to give them signals about, okay, you're getting damaged, so you better put the adrenaline injection into your vein and start walking down. It doesn't matter if you're very close to the peak, but go down now, otherwise you're going to be dying. So this guy went down and then went to sleep into the camp base that is about 8,000 meters, impossible for anyone to try to go there and reach. And he was sleeping for more than 24 hours. Everybody thought he was dead, basically dead. And then a day later he came to life and walked down, and he was okay. So someone was putting him into a recovery mode when he was very burnt out.
That happens to too many men when they are around 65, that they are already retired. Like, oh, he was playing golf, he was on the sofa, he was sleeping, and suddenly
he died. He passed away.
It's just because that guy was like for 20-30 years pushing himself too much, and with like believing that day after, when I'm gonna take care of myself, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna play golf. Yeah, but you can't how you say regar the plant,
water the plants,
the plant in one day. Lot of water. This is what happened. You have to
do it every day.
Every day a little bit.
Yeah,
you have to love yourself and go down.
Yeah, take it easy. I was having lunch yesterday with Alejandro Jos, and we're talking about a little bit the health and everything. And he told me that he was doing a regular test, and his blood pressure was over 20. I mean, for quite about a time, and he has all the problems that you may have. So they put him a little bit on hold. So he wanted to take a picture, like saying, you never know when it's going to be the last picture of you and I mean, and we have seen each other. And sometimes you need to have that in mind. I mean, saying, okay, come on, guys, slow down, take it easy, because otherwise you could be out. And you never know. So monitor burnout. I think this is important. And focus. I mean, most of the time, your psychology get worse because you're not focusing on the right things. So you're starting to do a lot of things at the same time, and then you start to block. This is something that happens quite rarely, but sometimes it happens. So you have people saying that maybe Google is gonna buy your company, or Facebook, or Groupon, or some other. So when that happens, ignore. I mean, what happened? Why? Because if it doesn't happen, you're gonna be depressed at the end, and if it happens, you're gonna be slowing down, like saying, okay, it doesn't. I don't want to continue like that. So forget acquisition interest. Most of the startup fails when founders quit, and you probably have realized. I mean, when you had the startup also before, you could see also that some of the founders didn't work as heavy as you were thinking. So when some started to quit, the other ones start to quit also. Startups versus love. Okay, so I do like some sort of analogy. Maybe it's gonna be stupid for you, fun for me. I think startups is like being in love with someone. Okay, there are 7 points. First, you need to be passionate about starting. Okay, well,
Check.
Everybody agree? Yeah, check. So it's gonna be an investment of your time and your energy. Yes or
And
no?
your quality of life.
Okay. And both parties in the relationship need to have equal interest. So if you don't have equal interest starting a startup, then maybe you have a situation. So if someone thinks is for making money and the other one is for, I don't know, being famous, I mean, maybe you need to be thinking about it. Okay, focus. This is about having multiple startups or multiple relationships. If you don't focus, and if you have too many, maybe you're not going to be successful in any of them. Don't laugh about it. Okay. You need to be flexible also, so nothing stays the same. So change the rules and everything if it doesn't work. So be flexible. Don't be ridiculously about, we said we were going to be doing this, because it doesn't work. Be creative, but flexible in the way that pivoting, I mean, somehow. Fail fast. I mean, and when things don't run the same, the way you were expecting, drop it and forget about it, and then move on to another one. This is like relationships. It's like, okay, when things doesn't work with a relationship, then you say, okay, I'm not going to be having a relationship anymore in my life. This is going to be, I hate guys or girls or whatever. This is stupid. Come on, fail fast. I said, pass along. Okay, go, but take another one. I mean, keep on, continue. So bounce back and try it again. Maybe it's fun, maybe it's not fun, maybe it resonates with you, maybe not. The next one is about startups versus surf. Of course, there has to be something about surf. And I don't know how many of you have been surfing before. So I'm going to be putting a video of someone that is surfing in... it's not me, actually. It's actually not me. And I want you... I think there is some sound. This is actually sound from a video camera. I start from scratch. Okay, I will say. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the... okay. I will explain a little bit. You know, surfing is about catching a wave and going around. I know there is a background, but anyhow, I don't know how to do it. Okay. Okay, maybe...
No, lo que necesito bajar eso.
Yeah, lowering a little bit like this. So I will teach you a little bit about surfing. Okay, everybody thinks that surfing is so fun because you are 3 seconds on the wave, and then after that you will you will go down, and you could be like 2-3 hours waiting to catch a wave. And sometimes there are a set of waves coming and you cannot catch it, and you need to go down the wave and do what is the duck dive, or there is another way of doing it also. So this is actually a video from someone that he enjoys surfing, he loves surfing, but this is what actually surfing is. I mean, in the beginning, there's a lot of getting under the water and suffering a lot, and then getting a wave after wave after wave. So this is a real video in Costa Rica. Everybody wants to go to Costa Rica to have fun in Costa Rica. So this is actually what happens normally when you go surfing. So this is the guy going to the wave. This is the wave coming, and it's too late. So it's like, no, my God, it's gonna be on me. So going down, not breathing now, trying to get air, and then getting the running on, and then trying to get the board again, and there's another wave coming. It's like, come on down again. It's like, okay, take it easy, so it's gonna be okay. So you've been breathing only for 10 seconds, another 15 seconds without any air, and okay, the board, taking the board, getting out, another one on top. You know, waves happens every 15, 16 seconds. So when you get a set, you get like 4 or 5 waves like that, and then you're also trying to get to the same points you were. Another white water is like, okay, my God. So this is like trying to breathe. Yeah, it's only 2 minutes video, but I promise when that happened to you, you feel like you've been in the water like half an hour. It's like grasping for air. Yeah. Look, and then he's going to be watching in the camera, probably taking a selfie and saying, oh, how fun it is to surf in Costa Rica and everything. But the real thing is that he cannot breathe. His ears are popping because of the death and everything. And this is like starting a startup. Most of the time you're grasping for air. Another one. That is... Yeah, it is like that, and everybody is going to be asking, how was surf? And you say, it's perfect, it was beautiful, and come on, you haven't been surfing. So this is actually a friend of mine. Look, I think he's taking now the camera out and talking to the camera. Yes. Jesus Christ. All my ears. It's like, okay. Maybe if you haven't been surfing, but this is what I think it is somehow. Okay, so that was the part of my talk.
Where is
The volume?
yeah.
You want to take it out?
Yes.
Okay, so that was my part. Now Miriam wants to tell you a few things. Where is it? I need my glasses. I'm getting old. Why are you laughing? Come on. Okay, back. Sorry about that. So that is Miriam. That is Miriam in psychology, NLP and wingwave. Yeah. So a little bit.
Yeah, I like to mention again about stress. It's going to be just a little bit. That because I think that it's very important when you are an entrepreneur. You are always in danger to have that illness. That is very, stress is escondida.
Is hidden.
Hidden.
Yeah.
And this is that sentence is, stress is a normal part of life, so it always is with us. But the problem is, but it shouldn't be your life. When stress becomes a chronic problem, it's time for the entrepreneur to do something about it.
Like what? What
should
we do?
Yeah, like
go into a pub and have fun, or forget it?
Yes, meditation.
Oh, okay.
For example, mindfulness. I don't know how it's binaural music that you can hear.
I don't know if do you know about binaural type of music?
Like the sounds of
Yeah,
It's
it's
going
actually,
from one ear to the
Yeah.
other. Because
I have different applications that do that. I
yeah,
mean, they
if
have
you
like a,
press another one,
Yeah.
you'll see that you told me.
oh yeah, head
It is.
space. Yeah. Yeah. So there are some applications that depending, I think it changes the sound from one ear to the other. So it produces type of delta waves or theta waves or alpha
Yeah, wing
waves
wave
or
works.
wing waves.
Wing wave is
And it reduces stress.
It
all
reduces stress and anxiety. I mean, there are different models.
yeah,
no?
because the two hemispheres,
Yeah.
it's ya los ponen funcionales.
So they started
It's
to
going and
hemisphere.
process all the information.
I have different ones. One for sharp mind. So if you
Yeah,
want to,
in Spotify you can get it.
okay,
And if you are working
yeah,
in front of the computer, you can at the same time listen to that music. So the stress is going to be down, or your sadness, or your anxiety, and even for the concentration and to get information quicker. So that's really cool.
does it work? Really? I mean,
Yeah,
I've been using
No,
it.
with my patients or clients,
Patients, yeah.
patients and my clients, they use that music. That it comes from coaching wingwave. That is my specialty, and they know how to use it. In that case, the best one is that the songs are 20 minutes. During 20 minutes, and it's more or less the time you need to process all that information.
So
For example, if you are in with a crisis, or you had a really bad situation that you don't feel confident, or you want to cry but you can't, you can use that music. Gonna help you to move that emotion, to move that stress, emotions or pains, for example, or sentences. Why it happens that to me? So it helps. Also helps practice yoga or sports. Stay with your friends, with your partner, and go to be next to trees or to the sea and nature, basically.
I have different ones, and I'm using sometimes when I'm in the car. I know you shouldn't be doing this in the car because.
No, in the car, no.
No, you're not allowed. Yeah, I know
You
you're
are
not allowed,
not
but,
allowed.
but I don't understand that because there's one
helps
called
for you.
focus and alert. So I put that focus and alert wing wave with me. Yeah. So you're supposed to be very focused to what you're doing. Actually, I'm driving, and I put a podcast on the back or music on the back. But that helps me to get concentrated. I don't know if it helps or not, but I'm using it. Yeah, so critical thinking, concentration, problem solving, positive motivation boost, euphoria, stress reduction. There is
so
a lot
many
of
there.
things depending on the waves
Yep.
you use it.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell just some physical and mental, emotional symptoms.
Okay.
For example, physical changes in eating habits and difference with your sleeping patterns, pains in your body, loss or graying hair, increased drinking or taking drugs. It means that you have stress. And for example, I have, because when I lived in London, I had stress, but I didn't realize, because it's what I said, is stress is hidden. It's like you are dying every day a little bit, but you don't realize, honestly. For example, if you are going to get that oh my god, that glass, probably you're gonna
drop the glass.
Yes.
Or, yeah. So
You can't control.
You're becoming clumsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, after mental, you have also mental symptoms: poor memory, confusion, lack of engagement, inability of concentrate, and then we have emotional also symptoms: loneliness. You are like, I want to stay in my place,
or do you feel, or you want to be lonely?
Both.
Okay, so you want to be lonely and you feel lonely at the same
Yes.
time.
Unhappy, negative feelings, lack of confidence, low self-esteem, for example, agitation and feelings, or to be overwhelmed. That for me is that everything's like, oh my God, I can't face up that situation. So that's so important to.
So those are symptoms that if you feel it,
there are more,
normally
but
they are
more
related to you have a stress chronic. So if you feel any of those symptoms, it's like, do you have a stress?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Stress is always with us. The
Okay.
problem is chronic.
Yeah.
But a little bit of stress is good, is healthy.
Yeah, you need stress. Otherwise, for example, right now I'm here. I need to feel stress and anxiety to prepare all the stuff. Other way, I say my place.
Right.
You know, you need that. The problem is like next day you have stress, the other one, like for 6 months, 1 year, that is something is going wrong, and you feel that you don't have, you are not strong enough to go to your job or deal with life.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I wanted to remind this because I was an entrepreneur and I'm an entrepreneur.
Should we move on to?
Okay, we are going to complete a completely different thing.
So this is about
issues.
communication, I believe.
This is about communication. Communication is with us. I'm communicating something. I talk to myself always. So you talk to yourself when you get up. So communication is our main tool to get things, to feel, to talk.
Yeah.
So this is coming from NLP. Stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Is the body, the human experiences. Is a method to get the excellence. So I'm going to give you some tips to excel your writing and your speaking communication with your team, with your partner, for customers, on your website, emails, whatever. Communicating is everywhere, is always with us.
Okay.
So the first one, you have always to, and you should have this word or these sentences in your mind. What's actually your message?
So what do you want to say?
Yeah, what do you want to say? It has to be clear. You have to make strong statements because your objective is to create the way. Okay? That's true that right now I'm talking in English. So for me, in that moment, it's a bit complicated to give that message
Straight away, yeah.
Yeah, as I like. But I'll do my best.
Okay.
The first one, avoid not.
So don't use the word not.
For example, Rafa has a lot of don't in his his speech and in presentation.
You were.
Yeah, you should change it. So avoid
Thank
not. In Spanish or in English, we use it all the time.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Don't stay here. Don't run. Don't eat. Don't think that. Don't tell me that. No, you have to say what you have to do. What's actually your message?
But on a positive way. So say
Positive language.
be on time.
Be on time.
Don't say don't be late.
I was with a colleague on Monday, and I was explaining to him that because we are creating some for a formation, and he was talking with a client, and he said, but you don't, how is it? No puedes llamarme el viernes, no? It's like...
So he was asking...
In negative.
In a negative way to get a phone call, and you say, but you cannot call me on Friday?
On Friday, and it was like when he... and I said, look, do you realize that you actually was saying to him that you didn't want to talk to him on Friday? And he went, oh my God, that's true. So positive language.
Positive language, okay.
Assertive
somehow.
You need to... Assertive is different.
Okay.
Assertive, it should be, it's like, I suggest to you, it would be better if this is assertive. That is, it's good,
good
as well,
also.
but it's a completely different stuff.
Okay, so don't use the no.
No. Say what you have, you are a guide to that people. So you should use action verbs like tell, say, do, go.
You should use it. Okay.
Yes. They are connected. Avoid or positive or the action verb, the 3 points, the first, they are connected. The second one, avoid using but and use and. They
instead.
are link words that they link two sentences. This is a really good example.
He's
He's
ugly.
ugly, but he's
But
rich.
he's-
Okay?
So, what does it mean? So you're
It
not going to
means-
be.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
It means that this is, but he is rich. Okay, I forgot it. The subject.
Yeah.
Consider it right now. So he's ugly. If you say but after that, he's ugly.
Will disappear. So you
brain-
will not get the message.
That the brain doesn't process that word. This is important. But he's rich. I don't mind he's
He's
ugly,
ugly.
but he's rich.
But if you say
But
he's
the
ugly,
difference, if you say and, if you use and, he's ugly and rich, is ugly and rich. Yeah, do you understand?
yeah. So both things will remain in your head if you say and you don't say but. So here ugly will disappear, but here ugly will stay. It's the same with the
In
rich.
this context, maybe you want to.
Oh,
avoid
maybe you want to
being
say
afraid
something
about
different.
ugly.
Yeah. Okay. It depends
Yes,
on the.
yeah. If you
Yeah.
know what it means, but and right now you can use it. But if you are talking, you have an investor in front of you, or you are using all the time negative language, and but he's going to disconnect because
Completely.
brain stops.
Disconnects.
If you are talking with positive language and using an, it's going to be their brains are working
Okay.
with this communication. And the last one, visual,
Auditory.
auditory, and kinesthetic. They are the three perceptual channels. If you are with a group here right now, probably you are visual or you are auditory or kinesthetic or visual. You know, for
So
example.
you are one of those normally.
Yes,
this
that's
kind of
kind
person.
that perception. So in your message,
Should I move on to the next
Yes.
one? Yeah. Okay.
you have to use
All the three.
words that represent that sense. We have 5 senses that they give that information that we encode inside of that brain, and this is an example with the three channels. I opened the window. It was a shiny day.
So it was visual, shiny.
Yeah,
visual.
shiny is visual.
Yeah.
I
I
could
could hear some birds
auditory.
Yeah.
singing,
Yeah.
and immediately I felt calm.
Calm is
kinesthetic.
kinesthetic. Yeah.
So just with these sentences, that message you understand, learn, because this is singing for you. You can proceed singing for you.
So depending on the person, you don't know which one they are. But
No.
if you use the three of them, you
If
could
you-
get the message to
If
everybody.
you are talking one-to-one,
Yeah.
you can guess it.
You can guess it. Okay.
Yeah,
What kind
because
of person?
if you are talking all the time with visual, it's gonna be like with verbs, visual or colors, or whatever. It's like, oh, he's visual, so I'm going to change my communication. I'm gonna start talking with visual words. This is an example. You are a sales assistant and you are trying to sell a product. You don't know, or maybe you have checked already what's his or her perceptual channel. If you have a visual client, you should show it to the product to the client. He or she needs to see.
Yeah.
For example, where is?
Yeah. No,
you're gonna
we're
do
gonna
it
be using
later.
it later.
If you have an auditory client, he needs or she needs to hear you have to tell him or her how is the product. If that the person is a kinesthetic, you have to give. He needs to live the experience to touch it.
So we have like the Flexibel, which is a product of one of the companies that works here. So if you were in between the audience and it's visual, your people should see the product. So you could see that there is something, so you get the message. If it's auditory, I need to tell what it is, or maybe hear the way it sounds and everything, and how you put a call. And if it's kinesthetic, I should give it to them. So the person should touch it, so he will get the message about it.
How will you find out which one the person is?
How?
How do you find out?
Listen.
Yeah.
But you said words, you know the person has a lot of kinesthetic? Or which signs do you...
How do you know which person is that? That is about experience, or give us tips.
If that person is visual, everything's going to be a description that what it
looks like.
Yes. Like is tall, is bright, it was black, I seek for that thing, I look forward, I look for, everything is about eyes and visual.
It's like a story.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a room that there are yellow curtains and black columns, for example. And I can see that people, if someone is auditory, I'm going to say, oh, I'm here, I listen to Rafa. There were people asking for questions, and you can see that it's completely different. And kinesthetic is, it was cold, my hands are cold, and this is true. And I was very happy to be here.
Yeah.
And it's the same experience, but
Now,
I mean, right now is...
So which one is yours?
Mine.
Yeah.
I'm visual.
You're visual?
But
you know?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say a number, but I think that the 80% of
people are visual?
Are
yeah.
visual.
mostly men, right?
Sorry?
Mostly it's men who are visual.
Men are visual?
I don't know that.
Okay, do you know me? What I am?
I don't know. I'm not working with language. I mean,
No,
I'm
but
not
come on, but
checking.
you know me. You know if I'm
Well,
more
I know
visual.
that you always talk in comparisons. Like, oh, but I was compared, like love and serving. That's what you do all the time in your words.
I'm using examples. Maybe it's kinesthetic or something.
No,
or
that's
no.
that's
That is
another-
feeling. No.
This is different.
Yeah.
No,
Probably you are visual.
but like everybody else.
No,
Okay.
like everybody, no, but it's our main sense.
Okay.
It is our main sense.
So printed
If you
materials.
lose your
Your sight.
yeah.
So talking about body language and everything. Okay.
So what can you do with all that information? Check your website right now and see how many bots, negative language, and change some verbs and talk with a visual and kinesthetic and auditory language. In the internet you can find some lists with these main words, with important words. Your elevator pitch, you have just 1 minute. In 1 minute you have that tips. It's gonna be successful your
pitch.
Yeah. So use it. Say what you want, what actually your message.
Okay.
Make it easy for the listener
Yeah.
or your website. Change it and do what you want. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for the tips. I think that was it, right?
Yes.
You have. Thank you for your attention. And thank you very much. Questions from you? No questions.
No questions.
You've been having a lot of questions. Miriam, in the previous batches also, we were looking into the body language and everything when you were doing the elevator pitch. I remember when
and
we were
words
doing
also
and words, you were using. So it was very interesting. So maybe it is a good idea that we get in touch with Miriam when you're ready with the elevator pitch and everything. So that will be one way of extracting also some information about the way you're doing for the investors. I don't know. I'm talking about trying to get Miriam back again. But anyhow, yeah. Also, we were using another person that it was Pilo Martin. You remember?
Really that's really cool.
Pilo Martin, he's a very nice mentor. He will help you out also with the way of saying communication, the way of saying things. He's been winning a lot of awards about talking in public.
Like oratory.
Yeah, he's talking about oratory. Yeah, so he helps politicians and CEOs of companies about passing the message and everything. So if we are lucky, we're going to be bringing Pilo Martin. He has a company name, and he's working also with some singers, famous singer Zara. He's a co-founder also of the... So good, that was for today. Any information, anything, we have it online, the presentations and everything. And thank you, Miriam, for being here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. And we don't know if it's been broadcast, right? So, but I have it can. Pero no sé, la tengo aquí. Record.
Vale, he estado delante, digo, a ver si te imaginas, todo está a un lado.
Yo pensaba que te iba a ir a la puerta.
Hombre, al principio siempre.